Welcome back to the Matrix Network. This week's episode, a transhuman Thanksgiving. Are you ready to be connected? You know, Alice is gone now, and now Neo is here.
Yeah, he took her out.
Yeah. Well, you know, that's what happened, like in the Matrix. We don't know if Alice was like Agent Smith.
Yeah.
And he got rid of her. But now Neo's here, and he's giving us the insight to the Matrix.
He cast her on a bed of sickness.
Yeah. But we're here now. We are here at the Matrix Network, and hopefully you guys are connected. But before we get into all the other great things we have on this week's Transhuman Thanksgiving, the one of many to come, and it's only going to get more transhuman as we go. I'm interested to see the turkeys of the future. It's probably going to be a robot. Hopefully you guys are going to have some great food this Thanksgiving. And to cherish those foods, remember some of the greatest foods are leftovers. Do you like Thanksgiving leftovers outside of the turkey?
I don't like the turkey at all.
Yeah,
sometimes the stuffing, the turkey stuffing is actually pretty good.
Yeah, like I like the mashed potatoes, the rolls, the ham, the stuffing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, those are great. But what about those good old 2018 leftovers? That's really yummy.
Whoa.
You see all that great?
That's a fur coat.
Yeah.
It looks like a mink.
Like, we want some of that.
Have you seen some of the things people eat for Thanksgiving? When you think of Thanksgiving, you normally think of turkey and potatoes and pie. Well, I just found out some other things that people eat for Thanksgiving, and I am floored, to be quite honest. We're going to start off a little easier here with frog eye salad. And although the name is frog eye salad, there are not actually any frog eyes in here. And essentially what this seems to be is like couscous with oranges, pineapple, and marshmallows all in some custard. Basically a dessert. Not too bad, right? But then we come to this, and this is where I lose it. This right here is a bologna cake, which is just a giant stack of bologna with sour cream in between them. And I really don't mind either of these ingredients, but just the thought of this and the sight of this makes me nauseous. The worst of them all, in my opinion, is the ham banana casserole. And no, this is truly not a joke. It's been a recipe since the 1970s. It is a bunch of bananas wrapped in a slice of ham with cheese dripped over it. Who is eating that? And don't worry, we have more than just food too. We have drinks here. I somehow didn't know this, but hot Dr. Pepper is a big thing. And it's really just Dr. Pepper warmed up with a bit of lemon in it, which is a thing that's been around since the 1960s. But if you had to make a dish for...
Yeah, but
none of that stuff is true. That guy's making it up. That's Sora AI.
Hopefully you guys are going to have some great food and not ham casserole cake.
Yeah, I want my Butterball turkey.
Yeah. I'm not a big fan of turkey either. A deep fried turkey is okay. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of turkey. But I do like some ham.
Yeah, remember what happened to Butterball last year?
Talking about the boxer?
No, the turkey. They were getting boxed all right by the employees. They were doing things to the turkey.
They're getting pardoned.
Yeah, it's like that Willy Wonka adage. It's like, which one of you Oompas stuck their Loompa in my peanut butter?
In my Oompa.
Which one of you Oompas stuck their Loompa in my peanut butter?
But it's not peanut butter. It's actually the Butterball turkeys.
Still refusing to buy Butterball turkeys for Thanksgiving this year because of last year's incident. To be honest, I am not surprised, as all of you likely know, last year a bunch of employees that work for Butterball decided to have not family-friendly fun with the turkeys before they were sold. After that information was revealed to the public, everyone stopped buying Butterball turkeys, everyone started to return the Butterball turkeys that they bought, and now this year they are just sitting on the shelves. No one is buying them once again. They are the last turkeys there at all these stores.
Not just the turkeys just taste bad, but apparently, I don't know if you knew this, chicken is really bad for us. Did you hear about that?
Mm-mm.
Do not eat the chicken. This is it for chicken. If this word come across your timeline, this word comes across your page, take heed. You're saying it for a reason. Stop eating the chicken. Stop eating chicken. Do not eat the chicken. Whatever they're getting ready to do or whatever they're currently doing, it's in the chicken.
That's pretty much it. People in the comment section are saying, no weapon formed against me shall prosper. So they're going to keep eating the chicken. Another person said, I work as an executive chef for a high-end grocery store. Don't eat the chicken. So everybody's saying, do not eat the chicken. And then there's more.
Okay, I had a really weird dream last night, and I saw a lady post this morning, and she's talking about the exact same that I dreamed about. Don't eat chicken. Don't eat chicken right now.
So everybody's apparently been alerted. So you have old women dreaming dreams, young women seeing visions, and then it's apparently actually coming out.
I am never eating chicken again.
Did you know that USA chicken has been banned in the EU since 1997? Why would they do that? It's because of this. See where it says up to 6% retained water or up to 7% retained water? That means after these chickens are slaughtered, they're dunked in a chlorinated chemical bath to cool them down and to disinfect them. And the EU considers this a sign of poor hygiene behavior in the supply chain. And to make matters even worse, if 7% of this is retained water in my chicken, what am I paying for? Water weight. So how do we avoid the chlorinated water bath and the water weight? Look to buy air-chilled chicken, which sadly this grocery store has none of. That means after slaughter, the chickens are hung in a huge walk-in refrigerator and skip the chemical bath. Keep in mind, there are purveyors that do water chill only using ice water, but you're still paying for water weight.
What if I told you the chicken you've been eating might not be chicken at all? Last week, a KFC near the University of South Florida shut down after insects swarmed the kitchen. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. Wow. From secret chemical injections to unacceptably low levels of actual meat, 8 of the nation's largest chains have been caught serving what appears to be a deception to consumers. And once you learn what's really in your favorite nuggets and sandwiches, you may never order them again.
We don't have the time. You guys can go research it to find out what's actually in your favorite nuggets.
Well, that's why we need to acknowledge our sponsor this week. Our sponsor this week is the Shark Survival Kit.
Oh, wow.
Because in times when you do get some bad chicken, and look, I eat a lot of chicken, and this is why I also have a stock full of our Shark Survival Kit.
This bill legalizes sawed-off shark guns.
Well, there you have it. The government just brought shark attacks into law, but you better get prepared with your Shark Survival Kit. This survival kit has it all, guys. We're going to be needing it. It's got disposable undies. It's got the Brown Town tissue pack. I just cooked up a sloppy gobbler. It's got the ever so clean booty wipes right here. And it's got the I survived a shark attack. Our government, it brought that into law. I guess that's all they had best to do.
But that's our sponsor for this week, is the Shark Survival Kit. Are you prepared when the shark attack happens?
I've been attacked by a shark before. I've survived.
Yeah, but you can't survive it any better than with having. Well, that's why you need to be prepared with the shark kit.
Yeah.
Are you going to stock up on shark kits?
Yeah. Specifically sawed-off shark kits.
Yeah, no, that's going on in our legislation right now. But because of what's happening with chicken, like you're talking about, we need more shark kits out, because apparently this past week, Campbell's chicken soup was on blast because the vice president of Campbell's Chicken was recorded on a hot mic saying that they have all their chicken is 3D printed chicken, bioengineered chicken, and it's only for poor people, and he would never eat it, nor should anybody else eat. And this is now going viral. So there's more transhuman Thanksgiving chicken going on.
We have shit for poor people. Who buys our shit? I don't buy Campbell's products barely anymore. It's not healthy. Now that I know what the we could bioengineered meat. I don't want to eat a piece of chicken that came from a 3D printer. You?
Campbell's.
Good.
Campbell's soup executive who's out of the job after the release of a recording where he makes disparaging remarks about Indian workers and says the products, meaning Campbell's soups, are meant for poor people. Campbell said Wednesday that Martin Bally, a vice president in information technology, is no longer employed by the company. It comes after they determined that the recording with Bally is authentic. They say the recording was shared as part of a wrongful termination lawsuit filed by a former employee against the company.
Campbell saying, the chicken meat used in our soups comes from long-trusted, USDA-approved U.S. suppliers and meets our high-quality standards. And the company noting, Bally worked in IT and had nothing to do with food production. Bally is on leave, pending a company investigation. In the meantime, the Attorney General in Florida, a state that bans lab-grown meat, says his office is now investigating Campbell's products.
They didn't say it was real chicken. They just said it was USDFA, USADFA or something like that. Anyway, approved suppliers. So they didn't say it was real chicken. What's real interesting, though, is people are going to test it now. Because if people weren't suspicious before, they're suspicious now. So you're going to have all kinds of people testing it, people who have access to all kinds of labs.
Yeah, this has gone viral. And also now, I didn't play the video, but apparently yesterday, Campbell's fired that VP. And they also were saying that employee that recorded that, he was only working for us for 5 months, and he was fired for good reason. They won't tell us what that reason is. But just in case anybody thought that was AI or fake or anything, you can just do a simple search on Google. It is extremely viral.
AI or not, people are still going to be testing the chicken in chicken noodle soup.
I just think it's interesting. Somebody that high up is saying, this is for poor people. Nobody's buying Campbell products anymore. And who wants bioengineered meat? Who wants chicken from a 3D printer? Regardless if it's true or not, I just think it's insane that somebody that high up would want to even acknowledge anything of the sort.
You know, all they had to do was give that bottom employee, one of those poor people that eats chicken noodle soup, all they do is give him a raise. Right. But I imagine that's probably what happened. He probably went and asked for a raise.
That's exactly what happened.
Yeah, it's like, why, you know, this, you know, at minimum, this should put fear in all these big corporations. Why don't you treat your employees a little bit more, and you can save yourself from billion-dollar lawsuits just by giving your employees raises.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's an option. You know, it's not impossible.
Well, what's interesting is that the VP didn't say, you know, you could say whatever you want to try to talk about or have rhetoric to change the salary or wage, whatever. The thing he went to, which tells me another thing about our culture, the normality of bioengineered meat, the normality of 3D printed meat, the normality that our food is not legitimate is so part of our common idea in our culture that was a means to justify the rhetoric. And it leads to the next thing, because we can 10x this thing. Just like last week we showed about the guy who was saying we can manipulate time. Well, this week, I want to show you how we can 10x this bioengineered stuff, because they came out with a robot that is made from human bones and ligaments. They're actually using real human bones and ligaments. And what if they use these robots to grow meat? And then when it's full of meat, you know, it takes time, just like anything, it's growing the meat. So we don't need animals. We can just put organoids, and it's growing meat, and then they can harvest this meat off the robots.
They could just do this with cows and other animals.
Yeah, I know, but you can use a tool.
humans.
You can use a two-purpose. Like you can use robots for training, and it's out there, but it's also going to be harvested one day for meat.
Yeah, if it dies or something.
And then they'll harvest it and feed it to us. Shout out to Soylent Green.
Oh my goodness, this is one of the wildest things I have seen, and this is not your average robot. This is the Clone Alpha by Clone Robotics, and this contains all 206 bones that the human body contains, and they are fully articulated with artificial ligaments and connective tissues. Now, they're very high on the hand function of these robots. I'm going to show you the raw clip in a second, but just listen to this. The hand functions with human-level thumbs, surgical precision, a trigger finger, and it is compatible with human tools. And it's not going to walk like other robots. It says finally, a robot that walks naturally. And it says do it once and the clone will do it forever. They have a telekinesis training platform. I don't even know how that's possible. This technology is absolutely insane. I guess you can reserve one of these things this year in 2025, but just check out the raw clip and the music that they used.
They didn't say there was anything about harvesting, but I just thought, let's 10x this stuff. If we really want to take that next level of bioengineered meat, we can use the robot for training and get it out there in the real world. And then whenever it malfunctions, we'll just harvest it. And you can have millions of these things. I mean, remember iRobot. You have millions of these things. And then we can, but we will have to have more shark survival kits for sure. But it's even getting on the next level. So welcome to your transhuman Thanksgiving.
I think they just need, and Campbell's needs to take a lesson. They need to take notes from Chef Boyardee.
Everybody, I just opened this can of Chef Boyardee, and look. Ick. Look at that. This is real.
It's
I
alive.
just opened this.
It's Frankenstein.
And there's worms in.
Yeah, I see there's worms and maggots in there. But see, that tells me that there's real meat in there.
Yeah.
If this was bioengineered, they probably wouldn't be in there.
Those maybe bioengineered maggots.
Yeah, that could be, and that's probably high value.
Yeah. That needs to be
Definitely not
studied.
poor. That is not poor people food right here.
Yeah, we need to study that.
Yeah, I know. I am.
Well,
so what I'm saying though is that the Chef Boyardee meat is probably real, whatever it is, human meat or dog meat, whatever it is. At least we know it's real. Unlike the chicken in Campbell's chicken noodle soup, they just need to take notes from Chef Boyardee.
If bioengineered meat, robot bone, human meat harvesting, bioengineered or real maggots in your canned food is not your thing. It's not your jam. I get it. So what about circumcision?
Yeah, that's basically the Eucharist.
Yeah, well, all I'm saying is if meat harvesting isn't your jam, maybe circumcision is, because RFK has said circumcision is a cause of autism.
2 studies that showed children who are circumcised early have double the rate of autism. And it's highly likely because they're given Tylenol. So, none of this is dispositive, but all of it is stuff that we should be paying attention to.
Hi, my name is Dr. Rubin, and yet again, RFK Jr. is misleading the public about autism spectrum disorder. There's only one study I could find that looked into that particular question. In a Danish cohort of about 300,000 children, there was a little over 1,000 cases of autism that were reported in that cohort, and they found that those that were circumcised were more likely to have a diagnosis of autism spectrum disorder later in life. That 2 times risk was only in a subgroup in the analysis, looking at specifically those diagnosed before the age of 5. But they did not adjust for confounding factors that are very significant, like genetics, parental psychiatric history, cultural practices, which may change how people will seek medical care, a lot of different issues that weren't looked into. In addition, his claim saying that, well, they used Tylenol for these circumcisions, that wasn't investigated in the study. You can't make that assumption. They didn't actually look into acetaminophen use during the procedure. So again, he's saying things that are cherry-picking little bits of information, lying and distorting reality to try to scare and confuse people into believing what he wants you to believe.
Which is, don't get circumcised, because if you're circumcised, you're going to get autism.
I wonder whoever owns Tylenol, whoever the CEO or whoever the owner of Tylenol is, I wonder what they did to make the elites this mad. Like, that they have to just do what they're doing. It's almost like they tried to make some agreement or try to strong arm Tylenol, and Tylenol people said, no, we're not doing that. For better or worse, it could have been something stupid like, you should come to our party tonight or something. They said, no, we're not going to. We'll come to the one next week. And that made them upset. Now they're going to make sure that they feel it, just disobedience, We don't really know. It's not like, Tylenol owners are doing anything good for us. But it does make you wonder, like, what they did to make the elites so mad.
Well, what's interesting is that Tylenol actually just recently, this past month or so, got sold off to another company. But the reason why is somebody had to take the fall. One of the big claims RFK was making is that he's going to get to the bottom of this autism epidemic. That's a big claim. So to make this claim justified, somebody's going to have to take the fall. Somebody.
Why doesn't he start with the water we drink?
Well, because
that's something that's been pretty documented.
It's because nobody wants to mess with Nestle.
Right. So he's not actually doing the work. He's just purposely chasing not geese, but wild geese.
But that's why I'm asking you this question. And this is the most important question for all of you. Which one of Triangulus the Fowl's minion will you be friends with?
Follower of Triangulus the Fowl will you become friends with? Mother Cowl, the Millstone Creeper, Jigson Five-Face, Wide-Eye Walton, the Lost Landline, Periwinkle, Heavyhead Harlson, the Voodoo Doll, the Screeching Letterbox.
This is the question people need to be asking. Those are like the archetypes that control the 5-7 regions of our dystopian transhumanism Thanksgiving.
That actually reminded me of how Gen Zs and Gen Alphas are actually learning. It sounds like a new language. Those characters. I've never heard of any of these or seen any of these before, but apparently they know them.
Okay, Steeler Brain Rat Toys, what are their names?
Tongue 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 Sahor, Boneca Ablababoo, Tralalo Tralala, Chimpanzini Bananini, Berber Patapim.
Sounds like he's speaking Chinese.
Yeah, this is a white kid talking some different language. And what are these things? Like, this is a tire with human legs and a frog head on it.
That's Father Tire.
No, it's Chung 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 Sahor or something.
I know.
Boneca Ablababoo, Tralalo Tralala, Chimpanzini Bananini, Berber Patapim.
And there's a lot of these too. Like, there's a lot of people making those clips of them asking their kids, because there's thousands of characters. So you just ask the kids to start naming it. It sounds like they're speaking a whole different language.
I know.
I don't know how they remember that stuff. Some of these names have multiple syllables, like 10 syllables in them, and they remembered all of it.
Well, it's not only the kids that are doing that. That looks like the Gen Betas. That sounds like a really young kid. But even the Gen Zs, I mean, pranks used to be one thing. Like, you get like what do you call it, saran wrap, and you put it in front of a door and someone would just run into it, or just old pranks. But nowadays, the pranks are turning into like weird childish behaviors. I don't know, but you guys can tell me what you think.
Stephanie, bro.
Whoa.
What the fucking hell?
These are the pranks saying, yeah, are they ready for a baby? His face.
You okay?
He was ready.
What is that? You okay? What the fucking hell are you doing, you idiot? Oh! Oh! Yo! Oh!
Are you ready? But those are the pranks that are going on today.
And those women must be really confident in their relationships.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You're talking about these brain rot kid toys. We're leading into brain rot pranks. It's just, and there's a bunch of these weird pranks. That's one of many. And so it's when people, I don't know what to think here. Is it because we're getting more into transhumanism? People are getting more primitive. And so we got to get back into what's like essentially primitive, or is it just something we should expect? I don't know, because there's, what was that guy's called? I can't even say it. It's so weird. Triangulus the Fowl.
Yeah, or Chulala, Chilala, or whatever.
Yeah, or wall in the five face.
Or is she jumping or something?
So I don't know what to think about all that, but hold on to your shark survival kits, because we're just getting started. There's more. If you're not into the joys of spending time with your family, you can try your hands at the Dare Market this week. Because everybody's not always into the traditional type of Thanksgiving, hanging out with the family, bonding, talking about throwing up on your loved ones and all that. What if somebody would pay you to get a Kirkified tattoo for $500? Would you do it?
It depends on what you mean.
Well, you're in luck. At the Dare Market, you can slave away your dignity for a price.
The world just got a little bit darker with the new website called Dare Market. It's exactly this episode of Black Mirror where Rashida Jones is experiencing some kind of medical issue and needs treatment. And in order to pay for that treatment, her husband has to do humiliating things online for money. And if you remember, it ended absolutely horribly. And their slogan, dare anyone to do anything. So let's just take a look at some of this stuff. Dare you to call your ex like it's nothing. Dare you to do a haunted doll challenge. Now this stuff is really light right now, but look at the prices and payments for some of these things. $750 to make a Facebook sleeper agent. $222 to do a fake proposal in public. Now obviously some of these things are really stupid and light right now, but we all know things are going to get a lot darker, especially when people need money. So these people got paid to make this fake haunted doll challenge. I don't know why anyone would pay for this when they can get stuff like this for free on TikTok right now. But as people get bored with these small ideas, you can guarantee things are going to get a lot darker.
And I'm going to show you guys the website now so you guys can see it for yourself. And I'm going to tell you what the website is so you can go there yourself. But that is the interesting thing as anything. Everybody needs to get, there's always this mutual thing between users and payers. And you got to get people in it so then you can get more advanced. So I'm sure right now things are really stupid and light and people are probably, that's free promotion. Bro, did you know I just got paid $220 to make this dumb movie? Which is only going to get more people to go there, which is that's just free promotion. And eventually all those like really simple, dumb things are going to go away. And you're going to start seeing things like, would you drink your own urine? Would you eat your own poop? Will you pull out your 2 front teeth? Will you cut off your finger? And at some point, when things get worse and the economy gets worse and people need that $500, the Dare Market is here. So let me show you the website.
And it's not what I remember about Dare when I was in school.
Yeah, shout out to Ronald Reagan. So here we are. This is app.dare.market. You guys can go here. This is the website. We are here. If you go to the beginning website, it tells you right here, and then you click enter, and then you get into here. So this is a real website. And you can look at trending, what's newest, closing soon, because everything has a time limit before it expires. Fund My Dare. But right here, for somebody was paid $500 to get a Kirkified tattoo. And look how stupid these tattoos are. Like right there. And it was paid out for $505 USD. Now all of this conveniently is paid through cryptocurrency. Of course. And so this actually somebody got paid for that. And somebody got paid for spilling your best tea on your last 24 hours. Somebody got paid $69 for that. And right now, somebody can get paid $208 or 1 sol, which is the Solana coin, for Thanksgiving confession. And that has 2 days left. But all of this is here. And people can do whatever they want. If you're willing, if you want some quick cash and need to get paid, all of this is here. And so this is a real place. This is a real market. This is free market at its climax.
What that guy said, though, is true. Like, first of all, why are these people paying for this so they can just get this content anywhere online, including TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and all that? And secondly, how do you get paid? Well, like, let's say I make a video. How do I know I'm actually going to get paid? I ain't just cut off one of my fingers for no reason.
Well, how a lot of these things work, there's an escrow account. And of course, this is why just like anything, like I was saying earlier, you have to make simple things and then have validity, because word of mouth is the only way to have validity. So you have simple things. And I think who's paying for this are the people who are pushing the website. And so what they're doing is, and of course you have to have a crypto wallet, and that's easy to make. Anybody can make a crypto wallet. And what they're doing, I believe, like if I was to run this, and I'm not running this, all right, I have enough investigations going on.
Of course not.
What I would be doing is I would set up a bunch of these and I would be funding it. And they'd be really stupid like this at first. Things that anybody can do. But because people legitimately got paid, they're going to start telling their friends and people about the website. Like, no, for real, I got paid. And then their friends are going to come here and start doing it. And then more people are going to start coming and doing it. And this is just like funding. Like you're just investing into your website. And eventually you're going to get people to do larger things like $10,000 to cut off your finger. Or whatever and whatever. And of course, there's going to be still stupid things in the forefront, but eventually there's always going to be those really dark things on the bottom for large sums of money. And eventually it's going to get more and more and more and more. So I think at the back scenes, the people who are funding it and really paying it are the people who are pushing this for a future market. And then eventually, as more validity happens, like anything, it needs to be valid, they can up the ante. And people will when it's tight. If you need $5,000, today people will probably do a lot for $5,000. I mean, people do a lot for a lot less. I can only imagine what they would do for $5,000, $10,000. And then when what I think is going to happen, like if I was running this, eventually when it gets really popular, I make it a pay subscription like the Red Rooms. And then it's like, if you want to watch this really exclusive content, when it starts getting really dark, well, now you have to pay for membership. And then you can make it into a social media platform where people can do live chats, like the Black Mirror thing. And they can say, I'll give you $50 if you do this right now. And then, of course, the website would get like a 10% cut off of any contributions, but then you get an 80%.
So a third question I have is, how will they know that I didn't just AI generate me doing a fake proposal in public to some random stranger?
I could get into the weeds, which I might in a little bit, because I'm going to talk about Nano Banana Pro here pretty soon. There are tools which, if somebody had enough money to fund all this, let's say it was Meta or some big company, they have tools which they could probably verify a lot of things. And if it's live, that's even harder to fake. Like, let's say the big money things, it has to be live. And that is going to be really difficult at that point.
You could live record a screen. Like, I could live record my phone aiming at a computer screen of Sora AI.
No, like there's tools which social media platforms, like if it's a big money place like Google or Meta, they'll know the difference because there's artifacts and there's all kinds of things which only they would have tools to verify if this was legitimate or not. And it wouldn't be surprising to me that one large big company like Meta or something was doing this as an alternate form of social media. Because they would have the money to fund all this.
Yeah, but they already have all these videos. But they don't need more.
No, to get to
why would they pay money?
To get to the dark side. That's the stuff nobody has, and that would be exclusive.
Anybody can go on Google.
No, I'm saying
But
there's something different about live. Once you know you're watching people, like the Red Rooms, once you know people are doing this live, and then you can control it by your chat. People feel just like if watching a live stream, when your chat becomes interactive and you can control the scene by your chat, that's an interactive action. Drink your urine right now, and I'll give you $500 right now. Do it right now. And people will say, bro, did you see that live last night? And that's what everybody's going to chime in. It's like the Red Rooms. But anyways, the whole point I wanted to let people know is all that stuff is here now. Pretty soon, everybody's going to have access to the dare market. And so that's what I was telling you. If you're not interested in Thanksgiving dinner and family things, you can always try out the dare market. But I also want to give you guys a warning this week. If you're out there traveling and driving, like everybody is, And when we out there driving, the number one thing you see when you're driving are those like road cones and construction, and there's always road construction. Be on the lookout that your, inconspicuous road construction item, they're actually watching you.
Barrel on the side of the highway, it might be watching you. The Associated Press just exposed a secret Border Patrol program that is monitoring millions of U.S. drivers. They're hiding license plate readers inside of traffic safety equipment to track your movements without you knowing. Using AI to analyze your travel patterns, if the algorithm thinks your driving looks suspicious, like driving on back roads or making short trips, it flags you. Then they tell local police to pull you over. They call it a whisper stop. The cop will say it's for speeding or window tint, but they're actually hunting for intelligence. Former Border Patrol officials confirmed that the agency has tried to keep any mention of the surveillance program out of court documents and police reports, even going so far as proposing dropping charges, rather than risk revealing any details about how the surveillance works. If you see a traffic barrel on the side of the highway, it might be watching you.
It's actually inside of the can.
And it's kind of genius.
Yeah, so it's going to be inside tractors. It could be in anything. And it's just been sitting there. But they're just watching. And they're everywhere. And you don't think nothing about it. But they're all interconnected in a big surveillance network. So that's something else to be thinking about this transhumanism Thanksgiving.
Yeah, well, on the topic of, AI and being able to tell if it's AI or not, I recently discovered something this week. Have you ever heard of the Rhapsody Street Kids Believe in Santa?
No. You talking about Old Man Stiglet?
No, this was a show, a movie apparently released in 2002. I had no idea it was a thing.
Worst animated Christmas movie of all time.
Merry Christmas, Nicole.
It's low-key racist.
You just it.
Mildly misogynistic.
What is it about girls being so bossy anyway?
And includes several A-list voice actors.
Oh, our princess has my good looks and your spending.
It is Old Man
Did I mention
Stiglet.
it looks like it was animated on a TI-84 calculator? The film is called The Rhapsody Kids Believe in Santa.
All right, so what's interesting is, you look this up and it's legitimate. This is, here it is right here, and it has these actors. That's Luke Skywalker off of Star Wars. Wow. He's the head guy, I guess, Eric, J.R. Horsting, Walter Emmanuel Jones, Jodie Benson, Deborah Wilson, Paige O'Hara, Jack Angel, Clint Howard, Nancy Cartwright, all of these, Robert McCary, all of them for this. And so I'm just going to show a quick clip. I just jumped to a random scene so we could all see what it looks like.
Even Nicole, I gave her my special bear that Mommy... Oh no, Ricky. What have I done?
What is this?
Isn't that what Santa does? It was from my heart. Oh, see, she doesn't get it. Oh, Christmas. Oh, how? When I feel so bad.
This reminds me of VR time.
Hey, Nicole, we're looking for Ricky's bear.
I've got to find it.
Oh boy, here comes trouble.
If I didn't see it, I wouldn't believe it. Let me guess. You were thrown out of the mall, so you're shopping at the dumpster. Do they take credit cards?
Yeah, the poor little princess is turned into a garbage man.
Nicole, the Ice Queen. Hey, when you melt, your hair is gonna be a mess.
Who's watching that?
I don't know. Apparently there was 17,000 views.
Well, sometimes people like that and those people who are watching us do wheelbarrows, they deserve what they get. And they need a cup of hot coffee, and they all need to disappear like those Epstein files.
Some folks who just deserve it, especially Sneaky Wilson, who likes to suck in your exhaust fumes while you buy groceries. However, no one deserves it more than Old Man Stiglet, a rather unpalatable fellow who wanders the wheat fields trying to sell passers-by his jars of magic fog.
It's funny. It's like our quality is getting adaptive.
But that's what's happening in our transhuman reality. What else can we say? This is what people want. I mean, the most epic child show within the last couple of years is Skibbity Toilet.
I know.
So
we see the effects of that, though.
This is why these young kids now can't get jobs. Look at
What are y'all
this.
checking for?
Literally, the freaking paper saying, "Oh, customer."
Yeah, customer
check.
concern. Fucking.
There's literally nothing. No leaks. No nothing.
This is the spare tire.
Exactly. I was like,
Did you look in the trunk for the actual tire?
but they said this one.
Well, yeah, because it probably went flat, so they threw the spare on. Hold this. Hold this.
Oh, my coffee.
That's what I was.
Hey, look at there.
Is spare in the back? Yeah. She's flat.
She's flat.
She's jumping.
Yep. So these kids thought they're over here trying to figure out what's wrong with the spare tire. They're like, well, I don't see anything wrong with it. It's not flat. They said the spare tire was flat.
Well, maybe this is why we should just embrace it. All of us are afraid of AI. All of us are afraid of robots. But, they're not going to do anything like this. This is, they may not be the most efficient right now, but they're not going to be doing anything like that. And maybe China's just got the good idea. Maybe we all just need to embrace it. Because this week they unloaded. That scene from iRobot where you actually see all the robots come out, like hundreds of them? Well, this week China wants to show you we are. And they actually mimic it too. We are bringing iRobot to you.
Oh, good.
Look at that army.
It's a scene right out of iRobot.
Right.
There's actually a white room like that.
Yeah.
With all these robots.
They're changing their own batteries. So they can change everybody's battery.
That's not possible. Robots can't fix robots.
And that's a lot. Here it comes. Hi, robot. And now they're going into containers.
Just like iRobot. We've seen all this before.
Yeah, I'm going to show it to you just in case you guys forgot. Here's the scene.
From iRobot?
Yeah, on the bottom.
Yeah. Do they have the scene of where they're in the warehouse? There's actually a scene in a white warehouse.
Yeah, I know, where Will Smith is actually looking for that one.
Yeah. Do they have that scene? Yeah, meanwhile, here in America...
Yeah, that's our robot.
Whoa, kiss me. This looks like AI.
I don't know. That feels American.
But even if that was AI, those last 3 clips, maybe those were all Sora. But maybe not.
Well, Saudi Arabia is getting involved too, though. I mean, they want to be a part of this.
That's what they came with.
They put a sword in one of them.
They put a turban.
Yeah, that's like that guy's over there with a cane.
Why are they so tiny?
But Saudi Arabia is getting involved.
They're not doing nothing. What are they getting involved in? The Special Olympics? Like,
I don't know, but that's
small
their,
people to big robots.
That's their contribution. But I want to give you guys a update. Like, we've already known that AI is already advancing to its highest levels, but we know it still wasn't good enough. But I don't know if you guys have heard. And if you haven't, this is your wake-up call. We have reached the pinnacle of being unable to decipher the difference between reality and AI-generated photos. And everybody says, oh, I can tell. Well, you're not going to be able to tell anymore. With the release of this past week, Google's new AI image generator called Nano Banana Pro, which you can get for $20 a month. Now, there's a higher subscription for $200, but anybody can use this and generate things which everybody in the AI field is saying these things without scrutinizing and looking at the real minutia and the differences, you cannot tell that this is AI. And so I'm going to show you guys this and be ready. Like we've always said, this is the worst it's ever going to be. It's just
only
beginning.
getting better. Yeah.
Can't generate images of Trump. Is that still true? Photo of Donald Trump and Joe Biden newspaper photo aesthetic. Loading Nano Banana Pro. It looks like it's going to work. I really wish you were right. I wish Google cared, but Donald, you can create photos of Donald Trump. Let me do the one you're thinking of right now. I'm going to see if I can do it. Bill Clinton found footage. Looks like it's going to do it. Good God. Google doesn't care. Google stopped caring, everyone. When they released VO3, you could not do this. You're right. That used to be a thing. Oh, yeah. Oh, but good thing we have Synth ID. Google's like, on their Synth ID page, they're like, some people may use this in a bad way, so we made Synth ID. What is the reason this needs to exist at all, Google? Can you answer why you aren't filtering out Trump's name? Like, that would probably be the right thing to do. I think that these people have a good point. We should expect that you cannot generate this. If you can figure out this is AI, it's because you're patient or you have specific knowledge, because at first glance it looks real. It was posted to the Marvel Cinematic Universe Theories subreddit, where I learned that these actors aren't the right height, but I didn't notice that.
That's it. The main thing is that they're just the wrong height. But if you look at their face, there's no distortion, there's no AI artifacts, the people in the background have right proportions, everybody's hats have the right shadowing, the lights all contrast. There's nothing here. Unless you get down to the things that you know, like if you are a brick person or a camera
As a production person, I noticed different things. This camera is supposed to be an Arri Alexa LF, but it's definitely not. That tripod head is fake. That tilt function wouldn't work. The rosette arm mounts are mangled. This lens attachment isn't anything. And the viewfinder image makes it look like they are right in front of the green screen when they're clearly not. This truss is mangled. The clamps for the lights aren't right. The lighting and green screen setup is very weird and overdone, and everyone on set like this with actors in plain clothes is unusual. But if you were a brick worker, maybe you would notice how bizarre this building is, or the bricks. Something feels off to me, and it's not even my domain. Maybe a designer would notice something off with their clothing. You get my point. That's how specific we need to be. If you're in the other 95% of people, you could upload a screenshot of this to Synth ID. If it were a scene in a doctor's office, a nurse would pick it apart. That's what we need to think about now, because hands and faces are usually fixed, but not always. You can still just be patient and look closely.
But that's how good it's getting.
Holy shit, Google's done it again. You can now create AI imagery that is so realistic that it's indistinguishable from reality.
Yep, we're all cooked. Google just dropped their Nano Banana Pro software and we are so cooked. Y'all, the things people are gonna be able to do now, we are so cooked. First, photos are done for. This thing can do perfect text in any language, so you can make a fake menu, a fake flyer, a fake screenshot with text messages of someone saying something they never actually said. Next, we got fake evidence on a whole new level. If you upload a picture of yourself, Nano Banana Pro will give you 10 new angles of that exact same moment. And it's so realistic, bro. Oh my god. People are gonna defend themselves and say, oh, that wasn't me. Oh, really now? Because AIU has a whole photo album now. I got you in this angle, that angle, this angle, and this angle. You're cooked. The cheating allegations are about to be crazy. So many relationships are about to end, dog. We are so cooked. Lastly, we got just a straight up hyper realism. You can generate pictures now that people truly cannot tell if it's AI. And weirdos will do weird things with this power. Just use your imagination. If you were a bad person and you had an AI tool that could fake any photo, any angle, at any place, what would you make? Who would you frame? Just never trust another photo you see? You should be good.
And this is just the tip of it. There are so many videos of this where people are doing everything imaginable, and there's no restriction at this point. You can create things of Donald Trump, Bill Clinton, anybody. And so we are now, this is just the beginning. Like right now, we're just here, right here. Wait until next month. Wait until 6 months. Remember the spaghetti video just 2 years ago. Now look where we are. So all those people who says it's just not going to get there. This is as good as it's going to be today, which is already almost indistinguishable. Give it one more year and you will be inside the Matrix.
Somebody already recreated some Egyptians dancing in Egypt, ancient world stuff.
Hey. Hey. Teach me how to do it. Hey. They be like, smooth. What? Can you teach me how to do it? You know why?
So that's probably what it would look like in ancient Egypt, but we don't really know. But man, you can't even tell that was Sora. Or I mean, what'd you call it? The
Nano Banana Pro.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyways, that's all I wanted to give you guys as an update on this week's Transhuman Thanksgiving. It's only going to get better from here. And then I guess better is subjective. It depends what you mean. But don't forget, this transhuman network government out there, they want to keep you so close, so stuck, so glued to the screen that they will go as far as possible as super gluing you to them.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
That's you and the government. You cannot leave the media. You cannot leave the Matrix. So you gotta sometimes just rip it off.
Oh!
Yeah, right, she's about to throw it. You just gotta rip it off. Just pull away from the Matrix. Be free. Free yourself.
That's really tough.
Free yourself from the Matrix and be connected here at the Matrix Network, where the real Neo will give you the truth about the Matrix.
People just need to open their eyes, walk outside so you can actually see signs.
It says, Holy Spirit, I'm innocent. God put Motb, M-O-T-B, on his command and a failed sacrifice curse on me. He wants to sacrifice me to Satan, hidden in skeleton key data. He wants
he had a lot
all
of
of the
time.
big guys to rip me to shreds for a year, restore memories of my afterlife. It was so gruesome. The high courts threw up. It's not normal torture for 1800 years. Karma declared I'm innocent. Demand he remove his wills, forcing you to not intervene. Demand my release in the name of Hosea, Proverbs.
Wow.
Amen.
That Jugger wrote a book.
In the name of Hosea.
Get free from the Matrix, bro. But anyways, as always, this fine gentleman, that right there, that's colleague. And as always, I'm host. But this is the Matrix Network. Get connected. Until next week, this broadcast is offline.